All right, Showtime. Sean Porter against Andre Berto. Okay, look, let me get through the generic part of my prediction real quick. And look, the way I do my prediction videos is, I tell you things that I think are important. I kind of give you my prediction, and then I let you make your own mind up. I think a lot of the other guys, and the way I did it in the past was I'd try to get all technical and tell you, well, he's a defensive fighter and he's this high and he does this and he does that. I don't know. I think there's too many like wannabe, YouTube professionals out there, that's probably never, that really coached a boxer in their life, and I have. I've actually coached like three or four guys, but, so I don't like that. I don't like that, these channels out there, they try to like, I don't know, they try to act like a coach or something, and tell you exactly what they're going to do, like when they do these like film studies and shit. So it's like, it's one thing to watch it and to analyze it on YouTube or whatever, but it's another thing when you're actually in a ring, in a 95-degree gym, hot as hell. You got the equipment there, the fighter in front of you. It's completely different. So when it comes to YouTube, I try to do my predictions a little bit different. So that's why I don't really get into the technical aspect of it. But okay, moving on. All right. Sean Porter. Okay, look, he's got Thurman, Broner, Eric Bone, Brook, Paulie Malignaggi, Devin Alexander Diaz. Okay, so he, coming off a loss right now against Thurman. Then you got Victor Ortiz, or I'm sorry, Victor Ortiz, or Andre Berto, coming off the win, the rematch win against Victor Ortiz. Now before that, remember 2015, he had Mayweather, Josito Lopez, Steve Upshur. I interviewed him actually before that fight. Soto Carros, Robert Guerrero, Zvek, Victor Ortiz. So, looking at that, I mean, I like to go back and look at their last, maybe like three fights. Now, Porter, he's been out of the ring now. I want to say for nearly a year. Yeah, I think it's been about 12 months. And then Andre Berto has been out for like 8 months. Okay. So both of them, been out the ring for for a while. I mean, really, that's kind of there might be a little bit of ring rust for both these guys. So, we'll see. It'll show up in the fight tonight if there is, but it's going to be at the Barclays Center, which I like the Barclays Center. Um, Porter, he's been chasing Berto. He's been chasing this fight. Now, I don't. Well, actually, I do know why. Because look, the winner of tonight's fight between Andre Berto and Porter, their names sound similar. It's hard to say them quickly. Between Berto and Porter, will become the WBC interim champ. Meaning they will be next in line to fight Keith Thurman and whoever he fights. So, let's say we get a Thurman Garcia rematch. Well, the winner of Berto, Porter will take on the winner of the Thurman and the TBA fight, if that makes any sense. So, like I said, whoever Thurman fights next is, the fight tonight will determine the mandatory for the next fight. So, that's interesting to know. So, I mean, you could get a Porter Thurman rematch. So hey, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know if I really want to see that or not. I know like people were like calling it like the fight of the year and this and that, but it was all right. It was all right. But look, I mean, here's the thing. Something I know about Andre Berto, he has problems with pressure fighters. Okay, and I watched a couple other videos, and they said the exact same thing. He's got problems with pressure fighters. So I think, and that's exactly what Sean Porter is, a pressure fighter. So, I think he's going to have problems with that. But I know, like, the general, consensus out in social media land is, like, it's kind of even. I kind of thought, honestly, I thought, people would kind of favor Sean Porter. But it seems like there's just people out there, it's kind of even. You got as many people supporting Berto as you do Porter. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But look, and Berto, he's been on the canvas many times. A lot of wear and tear, KO'd by Soto Karass. But then you could counter that and say, well, AB dropped Porter. So we remember Adrian Broner dropped Porter in the 12th round. So both guys have been down, but obviously Berto has been down, way more than Sean Porter. But so yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to predict a fight like this with both guys having a little bit of a layoff, and with the fact that we're not really sure where Berto is right now. I mean, I think mentally, I know where Sean Porter is, but with Berto, I mean, I don't know. I kind of think he's just kind of in there for money now. Especially after cashing in with Mayweather. I think he's just kind of doing it for just to continue making money. I mean, and you really can't blame these guys for doing that. Honestly, I don't know. As long as they have that competitive edge and they want to be a champion, it's okay. But I mean, of course, it gets to a point where it's not okay. Like when you're like strictly fighting for money only. But and then, okay, they had a media, like, look, before every big fight, they have, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's basically a press phone call, and it's where all the media, and I need to get more involved in that, become a little bit more active in that. It's where, I can call the promoter and say, hey, I want to be a part of the conference call, and then basically I call in, and there's, 20, 30, 40 guys, 100 guys, whatever, and it's just a media event, but it's done over the phone. So during that call, which I didn't do, but a friend of mine did, but during that call, Porter said, well, hey, I want to box Berto, not pressure him. Now, I don't know if that's like a strategy, by Porter. Like, is he just like saying that, and then he's going to come out there and pressure him? I don't know, but he says he wants to box him. Okay, but again, getting back to pressure fighters, look at the Collazo fight. Now, Berto won that fight, but he was having problems with that pressure. Okay, same thing. Ortiz, the fight of the year. And originally back in 2011, he lost. Andre Berto lost the original fight of the year with Victor Ortiz, and it was due to that pressure. But then he came back and, of course, won in 2016 the rematch, which Victor Ortiz quit. And that dude's just a fucking quitter, and I don't even like talking about him. But he's always had problems with pressure fighters. I mean, even against a Robert Guerrero, a smaller guy coming up, Soto Karass, Josito Lopez fight, which, by the way, the Josito Lopez fight was the first fight that Premier Boxing Champions had on Spike TV. So I thought that was kind of a little bit of boxing history for you right there. And then, of course, we all know Berto is like one of the original fighters signed by Al Heyman. So if you go back and look at his stable, at all the fighters Al Heyman has, and it's a lot of them, Berto was like one of the original fighters. And here's the purses. I mean, most people don't care about it. I really don't, but I just kind of report on it because I know people out there want to hear it. But Berto 1.2 million, Porter 1 million. I thought that was kind of interesting, you know what I mean? It's like, but I guess he's coming off a loss. So, but now on the undercard, the Charlo Hatley fight, Charlo 100 grand, Hatley 85. And then you got the Serrano fight, and then Santana, 12,000, 6,000 for the co-main event. So, I mean, that's 100. I thought that was kind of low though for Charlo, 100 grand. I mean, I guess it's not bad if you're fighting twice a year, making about 200 grand a year. Hey, that's not bad, right? But I don't know. I think that I know Charlo will be the future of boxing. I'm telling you, man. Those dudes, they train right here in Houston. I go down to the gym all the time and watch them train, and they're just incredible in that gym. And I got a little inside information I'll give you here in a minute, But yeah, here it is. I wrote it down. Berto 12 months and Porter 10 months. So yeah, it's been a 12-month layoff for Berto and a 10-month layoff for Sean Porter. And like I mentioned, it's the WBC interim. The winner fights Thurman, and whoever he fights next, the winner of that fight. So that'll be interesting. So, but and then also it could be, from what I've heard, I mean, it's a possibility. Lamont Peterson, he has a version of the WBA. It's called the World Title. So I'm sure you've heard of that, the WBA World Title. Each belt has different versions. There's so many versions of one belt. But so Lamont Peterson could potentially be in the mix somewhere. They're having a version of that WBA. So we'll see. And back in the day, Berto and the PED scandal, so hopefully these guys test clean. I know Sean Porter will, but it's all anytime Andre Berto is like fighting, I always like think back to that whole PED scandal, and hopefully he'll test clean and there's no problems. I'm not sure who's doing the testing, but we'll see. So I mean, look, now getting into the actual fight, that's kind of giving you all the boring details, but getting into the actual fight. I think Berto, man, he's got that sneaky right hand. Okay, so I think, that's the key, because we know Porter, he can get dropped. I mean, he has a great chin. He's like this little stocky Mike Tyson, great chin. But if that's really it. I think if Porter can keep away from that sneaky right hand that Berto has, that flashy, quick right hand, I think he'll be all right. Because I don't think Berto is going to outpoint him, because he's not nearly as active as he was in the past. I'm talking about Berto, like say against a Lopez or a Steve Upshur or a Soto Karass, which, by the way, he lost that Karass fight by TKO. Okay, so. But he let his hands go in that fight, and then, of course, losing the lottery, the Mayweather fight, 2015, and then winning the Victor Ortiz fight. And he looked pretty good in the Ortiz fight, but really you don't know, because Victor Ortiz quit. So it's like, how do you know? I mean, and I kind of thought this is like veteran versus youth, but Andre Berto, he's only 33 years old. Sean Porter, 29 years old. But I think that 4 years in boxing, that can be like, that's a long time. That can be a lifetime. So, and I don't know, just to me, I consider Berto the older veteran, and Porter kind of the younger, upcoming, prime boxer. This is how I see it. So, I think the last 4 years, going back to like 2013, Soto Karass, has been, problematic. That's a good word, problematic, for Andre Berto. So we'll see how he looks tonight. But I've got Porter winning. I think he's going to put the pressure on him. I think he's going to put the pressure on him and, use his boxing when he can. But yeah, I think he's going to put the pressure on him, and I'm almost thinking, we might get a stoppage here. So I'm thinking a late round stoppage by Porter is kind of what I'm predicting. A worst case scenario, it'll go to the cards and he'll get the decision, probably a unanimous decision, I'm thinking. I think it'll be a competitive fight, but I think Sean Porter will take it in the later rounds and it'll just become a unanimous decision, is what I'm kind of thinking. So I've got Porter, late round stoppage or by UD. Let's see if I get it right. So now let's see. Where is... Yeah, here it is, the Charlo Hatley fight. So look, Charlo, 28-0, 5'11", 73-inch reach. Hatley, he's 5'10", so he's got Charlo's got the height and the reach. But here's one thing that really stood out to me. Hatley has had a ring absence for like 18 months. I mean, I was like, what the hell? Like, the dude hasn't been in the ring since November 2011. Or I'm sorry, since November. Yeah, I'm like off today. He hasn't been in the ring since November 2015. So the last time he fought was against Anthony Mundine, Anthony Mundine, and it was in November 2015. So that's crazy. That's a long ring out. Now, one thing, the reason I think this fight was put together to begin with, I mean, other than the obvious reasons, was you got Hatley from Dallas and Charlo from Houston, which is about a 4-hour drive. I got family in Dallas. I live in Houston, so I know. But I think it was just like a convenient fight to put together. I really do. And before Jermell Charlo can kind of jump up into those bigger fights. So we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, obviously, I got Charlo winning. Like I said, I've watched this guy train. I've known him now a couple of years. I hung out with him at the Fox One event, about a month ago that he was commentating the fights over there. And I talked to him, and actually, we spoke about this fight a little bit, and he looked great. He's prepared, ready. I mean, these him and his brother, they're the kind of guys that they're constantly in shape. So it's like they're never out of shape. But so yeah, I've definitely got Charlo winning, and then also I think the sleeper, the good fight that no one's really talking about is the Gabriel Rosado and the Martin Murray fight. So I think that's going to be a hell of a fight too, and then the Kirkside fight. So I think I don't know. I think we're going to have like some good highlights, some good fights, and uh, I'm gonna go tonight. Actually, tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna watch them. I'll probably watch them late tonight, and then I'll put a video out later and kind of go over the winner. But yeah, like I said, let's see if I get it right. I really think I got Charlo by knockout. Okay, Charlo by knockout, and then I got Sean Porter. Um, Sean Porter, late round stoppage or a decision. Now, as far as the Martin Murray, Gabriel Rosado, I was going to make a separate video, but I'll go ahead. But I'll go ahead and just say it. I think uh, here's what's crazy. I was about to say I've got Gabriel Rosado, but it's like it's one of those like fights that I keep going back and forth in my mind. So, right now, I don't know, man. It's like I've got Gabriel Rosado winning, and I know that's crazy because he's had so many losses lately. But yeah, I mean, I've got him winning. So, uh, I wanted to show you guys a picture if I can find it real quick. Hang on, let me see something. Oh yeah, let me show you the. So hey guys, I'm off today. I should probably redo this video, but fuck it, we're gonna go with it. I don't want to redo it. I got shit to do today. Where did it go? I had. I wanted to show you guys the actual weigh-in because what's weird is they have Porter as being 5'7", right? And they got Berto being 5'6". But to me, Andre Berto is like clearly the bigger. Let's see, pages. Where the hell is it? I had it saved somewhere in here. Berto is like a lot taller. So anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to look for it. But yeah, I had it saved. But yeah, they have Andre Berto as 5'6" on BoxRec, and then Porter 5'7", and then if you look, well, you can tell. I don't have to show you the video. You can tell by this picture right here. I mean, how the hell is he 5'7" and he's 5'6"? It's just like the other way around. So I don't know. I think that they kind of lie about their height. I know they do actually. And one thing every time I think about Sean Porter. There's like an incident that I think about. Now, in the video on this, okay, during the let's see, I want to say it was was it the Thurman fight or no? I'm sorry, the Broner. I'm sorry, the Broner. Okay, during the Broner Porter fight, okay, Sean Porter, his dad Kenny Porter. I remember, and you can look it up on YouTube, but there's a video of Kenny Porter. He's in a hotel, and he's there with the Boxing Voice, right? The Boxing Voice. They were there, covering the fight as press or whatever. So they go up to the hotel room, and they're talking to Kenny Porter, and he just had this like terrible attitude. It was like this real aggressive, just really shitty attitude. And finally, I think his name is Ness, like Ness or Nell or Ness from the Boxing Voice. He was like, bro, you all right, man? Like, you like get this like really bad attitude, or you seem pissed off. Like what's the deal? And Kenny Porter was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. And it was kind of funny because right before that, I thought the same thing. I was like, why is this dude always so pissed off? So, I don't know. It seems like every time I see Kenny Porter, he's really pissed off. And then he went on this like, just this rant about how Porter was robbed by Brooke, and so I don't know. it just, I don't know. I'm just, this is a little cliff note. It's like every time I see Sean Porter, I think of his dad and how he's always like pissed off and has this like really bad attitude. So, I don't know. It's a weird couple. I always kind of thought that Porter needed to get a different coach, different promoter maybe, or maybe just a different coach, and I think he could go really far. But his biggest problem though, he smothers his own work. I mean, we all know that. He gets in too close and he'll just smother his own punches, and he just becomes ineffective. But that's why I think now, and he knows that too. That's why in that press conference, in the phone call, that's why he said, "I want to box him," because I think he knows like that's typically what all the fans out there say. They're like, look, we like him, we want to watch him, but you don't want to see a boxer like smothering their own work. So I think that's really the main criticism that Porter gets. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. I got Porter winning by knockout decision, or TKO stoppage decision. I've got Charlo winning by knockout. And like I said, I think Gabriel Rosado will pull off a win tonight. So I don't know. UD, not, I don't know. Really don't know. I just think he's going to get the W. So, and yeah, sorry guys, I'm a little off today. I just woke up and it was a late night. So, but I wanted to get this in and at least get it out there.